Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
So let's get to we'll get back to this in our top 5. But let's talk about Dynamite. Joe, did you watch Dynamite by any chance?
No. I put some of it on to see the arena and everything.
And it did not. Let me tell you something. They went from a big arena. This is not look good for. Bro, they look amateurish. This looks like they look like an indie show. So like literally, just they're in a dumpy building with not a lot of fans in the crowd and not a lot of production stuff. So I don't know. So Dax and Dax and
FTR
Cash
and the black guy
FTR come out
Stokely
with
come
Stokely
out.
Hathaway come out. Dax called out they started bullying the ref because I guess he's the one that counted the pin on them. He started burying him, told him his wife, he must be a disappointment to his wife, whatever. Hardwood told Turner that would be the worst thing in his life, and that's what he had to do to his family. He demanded Turner apologize and reverse the decision to make them the AEW Tag Team Champions. Turner said the decision stands. Stokely accused him of being incompetent, wanted to appease online fans. He demanded Turner jump up the fans' dicks and reverse the decision. They got in Turner's face again, and Adam Copeland came out. Christian snuck in the back door and gave Stokely an unprettier, and a brawl broke out, and they just started doing a big brawl, and they cleared away. Then Cope and Christian were in the ring. Christian started talking about FTR's fathers, but Copeland interrupted him, and the crowd booed. So he said, "All right, you sickos," and he let him finish. And Christian mocked Cash Wheeler for having a dead father, and the people cheered. So, way to go, ECW Arena, Joe. That's the fans for you.
Yeah.
Copeland then informed them it would be CNC versus FTR all out in their hometown Toronto, and he would take his pound of flesh.
CNC.
So I guess how they set this match up. What did you think of this?
I don't think it's a good idea. Like when you try to bully the fans and they don't react. Mm-hmm. There was a point when FTR was going face to face with some fan, and the fan was blowing kisses at him.
Right.
And I was like, bro, you just buried yourself.
Right.
And then the other guys get on some other guy's face. It looked like the other guy might have tagged him. It's never a good idea to get into the fans' face because more things could go wrong than right. Just bury them from a distance. But anyways, that's just a little thing. Yeah, I think, they'll have good matches with, what are they called now, CNC?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think about the 2300 arena, Joe?
I mean, I don't agree with Disco, of course, because I'm South Philly and Delco and all that, and the building like I said, it means like the Vet to me or the Spectrum. It's like a home.
How many times were you in there when ECW was there?
Actually, only about 5 or 6. I didn't start going until like 99, and they were closed up 2 years after that. So, but I've been there a million times for 3PW, Ring of Honor, Dreamers Promotion. Yeah. Other one that's there now, Battleground. I've been there a million times. I've been there for pretty much any company that ran CZW.
So the match with FTR and CNC will be good. This segment to me was all right.
Afterward, there's a video package for Darby Allin where he's painting the blood from his earpiece piercing hole. He was talking about his climbing Mount Everest, and they had video of it. He claimed he would take away everything from Moxley at All Out. So, and it painted the blood he was painting on the wall said All Out.
Okay.
I don't know why they're averse to giving Darby live promos. This is like a video. I don't because he cuts good promos.
Darby's my favorite character, most believable character on the show. I thought this gratuitous blood, it looks kind of gross.
Right.
The bleeding, and then the bleeding on the hands, and finally now after I don't know 2 or 3 months, you're talking about Mount Everest. Like made no sense to me. It was just a whole bunch of shit thrown together. I think Darby is the best character on that show.
So Moxley went against Danny Garcia for some reason. They went like for a very long time, 14 minutes. And the finish Daniel Garcia actually pinned himself. If you watch this, he actually Moxley did not grab him for the cradle. Daniel Garcia got in to get ready to give him the sharpshooter and just went and he put himself into the pin. It's hysterical if you watch it back, but it's like that was just he didn't wait for Moxley to cradle him. He just went down into position and Moxley just hooked him. It's very, very weird. So after the match, it was very strange because Wheeler Yuta got in the ring and cut a promo on Darby. But at ringside, Matt Menard was consoling Garcia. Then Moxley and Marina Shafir went over, and they were having words at each other like there was a shoot or something. And then it was just a very weird spot. Did you see this, Konnan?
Yes, of course I saw it.
And
then he kept whispering in his ear and trying to hug him, and almost I looked like he even tried to kiss him on the cheek. I was like, what's going on here?
Right. This is, if they have it here. Go ahead and play that, Joe. See if you can. We're going to finish. Here it is. Look at that.
Oh, wait a minute.
Roll that back, Joe. Just real quick. Watch him and himself.
Sunday and perhaps see it staying on Moxley. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Moxley.
You see that?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Show the outside stuff.
They didn't have it. That clip ended there. But yeah, it was just very weird. I don't know if that was a storyline thing.
Yeah. I think Utah's haircut looks stupid. I think he means nothing. I think they've been trying to promote him as a star since the beginning, and he isn't. I will say this, Mox made Daniel Garcia look good in the match. He sold a lot for him. Daniel Garcia, I don't understand. It looked like at one point he was going to feud with MJF and be the next big thing, and then now he does. I don't know, bro. The booking to me is very weird with Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
So then we come back from the break.
Real quick, dear. I said it months ago about Garcia, Konnan, where they might even have been a year at this point, where they really spotlighted him at a post-show press conference, gave him a lot of time. He was delving into his backstory, and it led me to believe that, they were going to go with him. And then now you see it's been stop, start, and yeah.
Okay, so MJF. So they come back from commercial, and Wheeler Yuta's back in the ring cutting a promo. He said it used to bother him that people didn't like him because their cheers did nothing for Chuck Taylor, Ospreay, or Danielson. Yuta claimed he slayed the dragon and replaced him, and the lights went out. When they come back on, Hook came out. Hook walked around the ring, and then he went in the ring and he choked him out. And it was like, all right, what do you think of this? Wheeler Yuta said Hook come back and just choking him out.
Bro, I'm not a Utah fan in any way, shape, or form, and I don't have anything against him personally. He's a very respectful guy when I've met him, so it's hard for me to bury people like that, but he's not entertaining. He means nothing, and as much as they keep pushing him, people have not accepted him or looked at him as a star. And that's kind of my only problem with him.
MJF
and I wish somebody would have come and cut his hair. Nothing.
So they tried an interview from MJF after his loss, and he said he could no longer cash in his contract anytime he wants because Tony Khan required him to give 7 days' notice. He said he would end Mark Briscoe, and then he would cash in his contract, and MJF said it wouldn't just be for the title, it would be for Hangman's soul. It's not a bad promo by MJF, actually.
No.
Good intensity there. Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. And this was, they were trying to do painted as Ford or Statlander and Bayne are like big girls and having a big girl match. And basically, Statlander applied a triangle choke on Ford, tapped her out. After the match, Megan Bayne attacked Cameron on the floor and then went after Statlander in the ring. Then Willow Nightingale ran down and just kind of stood out there. And she and Statlander weren't on the same page, and Harley Cameron played peacemaker between the two of them. But this was like a bunch of green people trying to get an angle over, and it just didn't. You just did not get what they were trying to sell here because Willow just came out, just kind of stood there. And the announcers were trying
and the fans were chanting, "Hug it out."
Harley Cameron was coming in "Hey, let's do it," and they're just, I don't know. Yeah, I would.
Bro, my new guilty pleasure, and if anybody has a chance, please go back and look at it. It's worth looking at. You should see the way that Harley Cameron hits the ropes. It looks like she's barefooted and there's glass on the floor, and she's being very ginger when she runs across the ring to the ropes. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Renee Paquette introduced Mercedes Monet in the ring. She had all her belts with her. Renee asked about Alex Windsor. Mercedes said she didn't care about her and said she was a better Rev Pro champion than she ever was. It's one of the belts she won this past weekend. And if she wanted to ride the Monet train again, she would beat her all over again and put her in the hospital next to her husband. And then she danced, and that was the whole segment. This was like very lame, So next is Mark Briscoe cut a pre-taped promo and said he would set the hopes and dreams of MJF on fire next opportunity he got. Then said he and Kyle Fletcher have had a rivalry and are 2-2 against one another. He challenged them to a match for TNT Championship. Said they should do it in Philly. So then Don Callis comes out with Wardlow. Then Wardlow just returned, and now he's a part of the Don Callis family, and he didn't say anything. Or he didn't even get referenced. And then Don Callis introduced Hechicero, Josh Alexander, Takeshi Okada for their 8-man all-star tag against Kevin, our Speedball Bailey, Kevin Knight, Brody King, and Bandito. And this ended up with there was a spot in the match where Takeshi and Netta shoved each other. And then Bailey went for the double knee strike on Alexander, but he missed it, and he just rolled him up straight for a clean win by the heels over the baby faces. Which didn't really it's like no storylines were advanced here or anything. Just like that was it, What did you think of this?
This is just supposed to be a match for the sickos. You got all these workers going fast and going in there, and the match wasn't bad. I like how Don Callis kind of introduces Okada separate from the family. Mm-hmm. And I just think they have too many guys in the family. Bro, you got Wardlow, Rocky Romero, Lance Archer, fucking Takeshi, the Australian guy. Yeah, just too much. Josh Alexander. I mean,
Hechicero.
What's he even doing in there? Bro, they almost remind me of the Dungeon of Doom. Like, let's just get a whole bunch of guys that mean nothing, have no chemistry, have no real backstory together, and just throw them in there. Or almost like when the NWO, had like 80 guys in it. Mm-hmm. Just too many people in the family to keep track of. And you can't really, what would be the word? You can't really focus on one or two guys because you have too many in the group. Yeah.
So next is Hangman Page came out. And he said to Ospreay, who's getting surgery, he said for how things have gone from this all, and he hoped he could fully recover and come back to challenge him for the AEW World Championship. Then he addressed MJF and told me he'd thrown everything he could think of. He thrown everything he could think of at him, and he still failed. He then said if MJF had to give him 7 days notice of his next challenge, but that doesn't matter because if he ever signs that contract, he would beat his ass before the ink is dry. Don Callis then walked out after this. So they went to the back, and then they come back out. Told Hangman he wanted the AEW Championship back in the Callis family. So the question wasn't whether they would take it from him, it's which one of his family members would do it. And they surrounded the ring, and Hangman said he's not a dumbass. He could see how this was going. So then he attacked Josh Alexander at ringside and started the fight. Bro, if Don Callis has listened to the show, dude, you guys got to be way more violent in these when they're getting heat. This was a lot of light work, like on a beatdown, and it just did not look. I'm like, good grief, guys,
And it's in the middle of the ring, so it isn't an open shot like they do when you're doing it in the arena, and you can maybe get away with a little bit more.
Bro,
Don knows this because he's our peer. You're going to do a beatdown, it has to look good.
If Lance Archer watches this back, he would agree and say, wow, man, that did not look good. But then they even it out, and they end up doing a double V-trigger buckshot combo on Lance Archer, and then him and Kenny Omega came out and to even things out. Kenny Omega looks like he's on some testosterone replacement therapy. He looked pretty jacked, to be honest with you. But he came out and saved him, and they cleared the ring. But this was not a good. It wasn't any heat because they weren't even getting heat on them. They weren't so. So they had a hype video package with very poor sound quality because they didn't have the mic. They didn't have the mic. The boom mic was not over the girls, and they were in a spacious area, so it had like an echo to it. Terrible audio. Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm, and they were talking about their They have a Ring of Honor Women's Championship match, the Death Before Dishonor, against what's her name? Who's the girl, the black girl that used to wrestle for Booker? Athena. So then so I didn't realize that the Ops are the AEW Trios champions.
Right.
So the newly formed group, Bishop Gaun, Taoloa, and Ricochet, are get a title shot.
Right.
And they just went out and got jobbed out. Ricochet, I mean, they had a competitive match, but Ricochet took the loss clean. After the match, Ricochet was being helped up by his partners. All of them look very similar because all of them have chest tattoos on one side of their chest. So they actually look pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why they beat these guys already, but because it's a pretty decent looking faction. And Lashley and Benjamin came out, and then they started brawling with these guys. Did I miss something?
No, they just started brawling to the back.
But why were they brawling with these guys?
I don't know. Maybe they're getting a shot next.
Or maybe a Collision or the pay-per-view. I have no idea why they were like getting mad at them. You know, they went on and beat up the people that lost. I don't know. It's like crazy.
It makes no sense.
So this was a main event: Claudio versus Darby in a Falls Count Anywhere match, so Darby could do all his tricks and stunts. And he did all his tricks and stunts and took some crazy bumps, like you figured. He's definitely must-watch television, but there was no anticipation as to who was going to win this feud. You knew that Darby was going over. After the match, a hooded figure enters the ring and suplexes Darby and pulls his thing off, and it's Gabe Kidd. And John Moxley entered the ring, and they tried to continue the assault, but Darby made a smart escape and ran out of the building before more damage could be done. And Moxley and Kidd went running after him. And Moxley ran, and they didn't catch him or nothing. The show ended with them like Darby just ran away, and they were left holding, like, just sitting there. This is a very weird ending to the show. It's like what a way to go off the air, right? Like they didn't catch him and like put him in peril. He just ran away. What'd you think of that?
I don't know what to think, to tell you the truth. I mean, you know, they did do some crazy stuff like the shopping cart at the beginning, into the chairs. And there was a part where Castagnoli threw Darby out of the ring into the announcer's table.
Yeah, right.
That was a crazy bump.
Right.
And then, of course, Darby got as high as he could and did the coffin drop. But, yeah, why was Kidd wearing a hood? Who gives a shit?
Right.
I don't think that was a big surprise. But then again, I'm not an AEW fan. Maybe to them it was.
Yeah. The guy never cuts any promos or anything. He always just shows up like we're supposed to know this Gabe Kidd from Japan. You know, whatever. I don't know. You want to hear my top 5 for the week?
Go ahead.
All right.
Do we have the numbers for them?
Oh, here it is. Wow. I'm going to give you the things from Roger Jerry, Konnan. AEW Dynamite scored its lowest P18-49 rating in its history for Wednesday's episode. Dynamite averaged 585,000 viewers, down up 4% from last week, with a 0.13 in the P through 18-49, which is down 20%. As per Dave Meltzer, as always, these numbers do not include the HBO Max simulcast. The P through 18-49 rating was tied with the March 5th, 2025 as the lowest show in the show's history, while the audience was the 6th lowest this year. Year over year, Dynamite was down 16% total viewers, while the P to 18-49 rating was down 41%. But I guess they think that like all those other people are watching on Max, or more people are watching. Actually, they would contend that they have more viewers than they did last year because of the Max numbers. Which these shows are so underwhelming. I can't imagine anybody's like, excited about this stuff. So here's my top 5 for the week.
What did you need, Konnan?
Oh no, we
need the numbers from AEW.
Yeah, we need the numbers.
Quarters?
I already got it. Do you have the quarters?
Yeah.
Oh, pull them up. Before we go over our top 5 for the week. I always suggest it's kind of like a straight line a little bit with just not a lot of viewers. Yeah, about the same, about what I think.
Give me 2 seconds.
The lowest segment, the lowest drop was for, it's kind of weird. Or maybe it was the Mercedes Monet live promo.
That was brutal.
Oh, no. Actually, the drop because there were 2 quarters that have 2. Well, actually, it didn't at the end, but sometimes when a quarter has 2 commercial breaks, the number goes down. We had 2 commercial breaks, but I would suggest that it dropped probably for the Mercedes Monet segment. because it's kind of cringy. Bro, she has all these belts. Like, you think they would like, when she has the belts, to take time up in the promo, they would explain each of the belts. You know what I'm saying? In her segment, which they never do. So she's got all these belts and nobody even knows what the F they are. So I've got a weird top 5 this week. You want to hear my top 5?
Yep.
Honorable mention, the short MJF promo in the back.
So what was the final number on AEW Dynamite?
585.
Okay.
Yeah. Does not include max numbers. MJF promo was honorable mention. Number 5, I like the Kiana James, Julia Minchin segment because I like Kiana James' character. Number 4 was the Finn and Dom with Adam Pearce, where Finn was laughing in the background when he made the match with Dom. Number 3 was Asuka getting mad in Japanese. Okay, I thought that was very funny at Io Sky. Number 2 was the Roman promo with Heyman and them. And number 1 was the Cena and Paul segment. Cena and Paul segment was head and shoulders the number 1 segment of the week, by the way, in my opinion. What did you say?
Yeah, I like the number 5, the Japanese storyline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they saw him hugging in a distance and she threw a tantrum and all that. I like the, very rare I do this, but I like the I like the Motor City Machine Gun
Miz
match. Yeah. I like the Drew promo and the RKO right after.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Becky promo, number 2, and number 1, the Cena Paul promo.
Right. Yeah, Cena Paul promo is by far the most. Yeah. I would like to know I wonder what the social media numbers were on that.
Probably.
I imagine
huge.
It had to be really good.
Right.
You know, which is kind of funny because that's what WWE does these days. Like, they're going to get a lot of views on the Cena Paul promo, and that's like the whole week's worth of content that was worth watching. You know what I'm saying? It's like so, you know, I don't know. So that's been our TV reviews for the week.
Okay. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.